Being Seen is a thought-provoking exhibition inspired by testimonies of trauma, recovery, and the extraordinary resilience that emerges when stories are shared with trust. Over the past 7 years, I've created paintings shaped not by likeness, but by lived experience. Each piece in this exhibition emerges from conversations with trauma survivors, conversations rooted in trust, metaphor, and the courage to be vulnerable. These works explore hidden pain and transformative recovery, deeply human portraits of courage and renewal. As Susanna, one of the participants, puts it, to be seen is something we all desire, but for those who've experienced trauma, the need can feel even more pressing. When I started creating portraits of trauma, my aim was simple: to try to understand through colour and form what trauma feels like from the inside. Over time, I realised the process did more than translate emotion into imagery. It offered many participants a sense of being witnessed, not analysed, not judged, but seen. The Twisted Rose, inspired by a metaphor shared by a participant named Mac. The work depicts a stem twisted by past experiences, yet still reaching for the light. People ask, is it about suffering or survival? But beauty depends on where you look. Is it the dying rose or the new bud? You choose what you see. This piece marks the first encounter with the tension at the heart of trauma. Darkness and hope held simultaneously. Claire's painting, Roots, emerged from a metaphor she had carried privately for years, of a tree with raging raw roots. But she insisted on one detail: allow your eye to gaze upon the green leaf that still grows and shines despite them. This painting embodies how metaphor can say what words often cannot, and how creativity offers a safe distance from overwhelming memory. Claire told me that the dialogue allowed her to speak the as yet unspoken. The painting honours both her pain and her resilience. The Puppeteer was shaped by Zara's exploration of anxiety during lockdown. In our early conversation, she described a presence pulling the strings. When I gently asked what the Puppeteer looked like, she paused and then said, "Me." That moment of realization became the architecture of this piece, and she later reflected, "It lifted me out of myself and let me see a more expansive view of who I am." The artwork acts almost like a bird's eye mirror, inviting distance, clarity and compassion for herself. I first met Laura in 2019, and the painting Fragments was inspired by her poetry. She showed me a poem she'd written as a teenager but never shown anyone else before. It speaks of a lost childhood, of grief, and the desperate search for meaning. 5 years later, the second painting, Who They See, reflects a different stage of her recovery. Laura has become an advocate, her voice stronger, her sense of self more grounded. And when she saw the painting, she said, "It's the first time I've seen myself and not looked away." The two works offer a dialogue between each other, a quiet dialogue across time. I first spoke to Paul in 2024, and he spoke of the daily challenge of rebuilding his life after the Manchester bombing that left him injured. But as our conversations deepened, the central truth emerged. It was the loss of Elaine, who died beside him. When I first suggested it, the idea of painting Elaine felt too personal and too painful. But as we talked about it more, he realised that was what he needed. And when he finally saw the finished work, he said, "She was in the room with me and I couldn't take my eyes off her." The painting honours her presence and the love that continues to shape his world. Over the past 7 years, I've exhibited these works in various exhibitions and to different audiences, and the responses I get continue to move me. Lucy Millison described it as a deep experience, heavy at times as expected, but also light when hope started coming through. Kate Enters, founder of Arthouse, said, "The beauty and power of this exhibition is that it enables the viewer to engage at a level that resonates with them, a chance to expand their understanding of challenging topics through the universal language of art." Being seen is not about depicting trauma. It's about witnessing it with care, with respect, and with humility. These paintings hold stories that are painful, courageous, and deeply human. These paintings do not erase pain, nor do they attempt to resolve it. They hold it, and they honour it, and they allow each participant and perhaps each viewer to say, "I am here, I was always here, and now you can see me."